Welcome back to Blue's Garden, making lavender lemon jelly. I've been growing lavender on my front walk for, a decade or more, and I finally decided to do something edible with it. This is the lavender blooming all summer long. Later in fall, when it starts to die off, when the buds start to die off, you'll notice that the buds open up. The ends become little hollow tubes. Sometime in fall, when that starts to happen, I take these dead blooms and I cut them off. I collect them all. I'll show you a close-up in a little bit of what the hollow blooms and buds look like. But collect all of these blooms. Inside these buds, these little hollow tubes are where the lavender seeds are. And I'll show you, I also collect the lavender seeds. So I'll go through and collect as much of this as I can. I need about a half cup of the lavender buds to make the jelly. The seeds, just a bonus. I'm going to try and cold stratify them and grow some lavender from start. But really it's about the buds for me today. Here I am, got the fairly large bowl full of, while I'm getting all the rest of the ingredients prepared and collecting the buds and seeds, I'm gonna sterilize these jars and lids. So here's what I was talking about. This is one of the dead buds. And if you look at the end, you'll see these little hollow tubes. Inside each one of those little tubes is the tiniest lavender seed. So what I'm going to do is roll these buds. Roll them between my thumbs, crush them, thumb and finger. That will make the little tiny black seed pop out, and the husk, the little pods, the lavender pods, will separate. And that's the whole goal right now, is to just separate out. Just keep going with the whole collection. Separate out the tiny little seeds and the pods. Like I said, I need about a half a cup of those pods for the amount of jelly I'm going to make. Now, as you see here, I'm discarding the stems. You don't want any part of that. Just get rid of that stuff. That can go in your compost pile. Can't help it. Had to sniff. The lavender smells amazing when you're doing it. So you see me there, just roll it any way you can, crush the pods, get the little tiny seeds out, and you'll see if we look up real close, there's the little tiny black dots. Those are the seeds. And now the next part is all about separating everything out. For me here, what I'm going to do is take a paper towel, and it's got folded in the middle, and I'm just going to rub everything against it. And you see me going back and forth, trying to scoot the pods and husks to one side and leave the little tiny black dots, those seeds, behind. Crush everything, collect all the husks and pods, separate that out, leave the seeds behind. On and on till I get about, like I said, half a cup. Just keep going, collect it all. Keep going, collect it all. And then you see me here. Shake it all to the center, and then it makes the tiny seeds fall to the bottom, and then the husks, pods, you can just push off to the side. Move them aside, separate them out. All right, now you can see I've got a bowl full of collected seed. And that seed I'm going to put off to the side. That'll eventually go in the fridge to cold stratify over January, and then I'll plant that in February. Lavender seed is saved. So, measure out the pods. And I'll begin, this next part is the recipe. Begin to deal with collecting all of the ingredients. So we'll start with gathering 4 cups of water, 4 cups of sugar, half a cup of the lavender buds, quarter cup of lemon juice, and 1 packet of the pectin. Here's the 4 cups of sugar measured out. We'll take some fresh lemon, cut it up. Put a little sieve there. I don't want any of the seeds. Make sure you get just the juice. It's okay if a little bit of the pulp gets there, but really the goal is just the juice. Quarter cup of the lemon juice. And about a half cup of the pods. Next up, bring the 4 cups of water to a boil. Once the water's to a boil, turn off the water. You can leave it on the stove and then put the pods in, the lavender, dried lavender pods in, and let them steep for 20 minutes. Let them steep for about 20 minutes, not boiling, just that hot water. Next up, we're going to strain off all those pods. You just want the liquid, the juice that has now extracted that flavor. That liquid, which now is that golden yellow color. Back on the stove, bring that back to a boil. Add a quarter cup of lemon juice. Add that pectin, 1 packet of pectin, stir it in. Add 4 cups sugar. So now you have water with the steeped in, the lemon juice, the pectin, 4 cups sugar. Again, once that 4 cups of sugar with the pectin and the water all comes to a boil, as soon as that comes to a boil, set your timer for 3 minutes. See the boil? You don't want to overdo on the pectin. If you overboil it, you'll have to re-boil everything and start over again with more pectin. So once you add the pectin and the sugar and you bring it back to a boil, only 3 minutes. That's the key to getting jelly to set the first time. Once it's done, off the heat. Take it off the heat. Now we're simply going to take our glass jars that we already prepped by sterilizing and boiling water, and we're going to fill them. This little special green funnel allows you to get the liquid in without touching any of the rim, and that's important for jelly so that you don't end up with jelly that goes bad. You're going to fill each jar almost to the top, leave about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 centimeter of space. 1/4 inch, 1/2 centimeter of space. Fill all the jars. In theory, this recipe will make about 6 or 8 pints. It really depends on how much boiling and whatnot, but about 6 or 8 pints. So you fill all the jars to within 1/4 inch of the top. You need a little bit of space for when it gels, but not too much, or else the lids will not seal correctly. Next up, clean off the rims. If any of your jelly got on the rims, these rims need to be very clear and clean in order to get a good sterile seal. Put the lids on, put the rings tight into a water bath. Once they've boiled, take them out. Let them cool. I don't show it here, but as they cool, every once in a while, tighten the rings. And for me, I ended up with 8 half pints and 3 full pints of the Lavender Lemon Jelly. It goes great with goat cheese. It's great as just alone on some cream cheese and a bagel. I put my custom labels on. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share this if you would. Thanks very much.